Hi guys, today I'm doing a flip through of the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Anne Taylor. It's a 53 card deck, comes in a standard cardboard box with a guidebook. But one thing that I wanted to read to you from the guidebook that really resonated with me is in the introduction she's talking about like why she ended up developing this deck. And she says, the second reason I wanted to share these cards with you, energy. Everything is energy. You, me, these cards, the information swirling around us, and the patterns of our vibrations that direct our destiny, all of that is energy. And not only can it be read, it can also be changed. So that really, really resonated with me because it's exactly how it's exactly the same philosophy that I have. I mean, you are the oracle, I am the oracle. Everything around us is energy. We are energy. Energy is flying through us constantly. And for that reason, and also, okay, so let me start with the flipping through the cards, and I'll natter while I'm talking to you. The back of the card, the artwork is the same both ways, which is great because then they can't tell if the card is reversed. But there we are. This deck was the second deck that I got. I was still absolutely brand new to Oracle cards. I only had one previous deck, which I wasn't really, sure how to handle, but was getting better at it. And because of that, I wanted to have a second deck. And once again, I was playing it cheap. This was for sale by a lady very close to me, so it was easy to meet up and purchase this deck from her. So, a couple of things that I wanted to mention. The cards have this plastic coating, which has begun to peel over time. Okay? Now, honestly, the deck wasn't new when I bought it from this girl, but she also told me that she didn't use it very much. And that I kind of believed, because the cards were in fairly good condition. But the most interesting thing to me was that the energy that came flying out of this deck was crazy. So I was pretty good at shuffling. I would say I was like a pretty good shuffler. But when I picked up this deck, I could not handle the cards. They were falling out of my hands. They were falling onto the floor. Chunks of them were falling into my lap. It was crazy. I thought, what is going on? What is wrong with my hands? This is absolutely stupid. So I did end up putting the cards down for a while and leaving them, and then just being super careful the next day handling them. So it did take quite a while, I'd say more than a week, of handling the cards regularly and shuffling them and spreading them out and collecting them again. It took quite a while for the cards to actually calm down and acclimatize to my own energy and the energy of my home. So that was one thing. Now, the messages, like these anchor phrases on the cards, are very effective for me in the way that I do readings. Just want to make sure that wasn't. And once again, even though I did really like her intention for the deck, I rarely read the her description from the guidebook about the cards, especially after I sort of began to like understand them and all that kind of stuff. So see how badly the plastic is beginning to peel. Oh, this deck, this was published in 2013. So I don't know if there has been a subsequent printing on different cardstock to sort of rectify this problem, because like almost like every single card is well, I don't know, I guess damaged is the proper word to use. They haven't actually stood up very well. So I've only had the deck for maybe a year and a half. It's not like I was using it every day. But I have found it to be fairly accurate. It works for me. One thing that you'll notice is the artwork is very white. Everybody is a white person. The artwork just does not appeal to me as much as some of the other decks, you know. But 2013, what can I say? Things are different now, thank goodness. But yeah, I mean, I did find that I have found the deck to be fairly. I drew this card so many times. I did find the deck to be accurate, easy to use, easy to interpret, and you know, like I said before, you're the oracle, so maybe your reliance on the guidebook is something that's useful at the beginning, just while you sort of get to know the cards and the cards get to know you. But after that, it's really sort of like a good deck to, you know, use on a daily basis, like I used to. I guess, you know, and then for the energy of the deck, that also changes. Well, I mean, your perception of the energy will change over time as your own energy shifts, and as your own spiritual abilities shift, and as your connection to the universe shifts. So, you know, now, like the card, they're not too clumpy and stuff. The peeling plastic on the edges still makes them like okay to shuffle. I don't know, but you can see how kind of like beat up the edges are. I tend to have a very light grip when I handle a deck. I've seen people shuffling where they've got so much pressure on their thumb, they're like pulling the cards down, and I just feel that that's something that doesn't work for me. I feel like there has to be air and breath and movement in the cards so they can actually do what they want. And see how they're just, I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's just today, but actually I'd be interested to see what they've got to say today. What do we need to draw our attention to today? Let's see what happens here. Just go through the deck, take a moment, see where my eyes settle. The card that wants to come forward is, I had this card yesterday, second chakra, really important, where all the reproductive organs are, the birthplace of creativity and ideas and new things and whatnot, and this fits 1,000% with what else I've got on my plate right now. Anyway, okay, so that is that's the deck. Energy Oracle cards, 53 card deck, guidebook, plastic coated crappy cards. No idea if they're still made like that today or not in 2025. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.